Professor. My name is Asmin, and we are Group 6. And today we present our Mobile Food Waste Reduction Unit project designed to reduce food waste while improving food security through coordinated redistribution. So, in the initiation phase, we focus on understanding the background and context of our project. So, Canada wastes a large quantity of edible food each year while many households face ongoing food insecurities and depend on food banks and community services. So, our project responds to these imbalance by proposing a mobile unit that bridges surplus food and unmet need. So, our project has four main objectives. So, first, to reduce the volume of edible food wasted by restaurants, retailers, and institutions in a defined urban area. So, second, to increase the quality and reliability of food delivered to food banks and community organizations. Third, to design a model that is cost effective and operationally sustainable beyond a pilot period. And fourth, to generate data and lessons that can inform policy and enable scaling in other communities. So the core problem we tackle in the coexistence of high food waste and persistent food insecurities. Food waste contributes to unnecessary greenhouse gas emissions and resource inefficiency, while at the same time many people rely on food assistance with inconsistent supply. The project is important because it creates a structured system level response rather than relying on fragment and HOC donations. So now Romika will continue.
Hi everyone, thank you, Asmin. Now let's talk about the key stakeholders. So our key stakeholders span both the supply and demand sides. On the supply sides, we include restaurants, grocery stores, cafeterias, and institutional kitchens with surplus edible food. On the demand side, we have food banks, shelters, community fridges, and local NGOs serving food in secure populations. Additional stakeholders include municipal authorities for regulatory compliance, funders and donors, volunteer staff, and the broader community who benefit from reduced waste and improved food access. Next slide. Now, let's take a look towards the planning phase. So, in the planning phase, we clearly define the project scope and deliverables. The scope includes designing the end to end collection and redistribution process, establishing formal partnerships with donors and receivers, setting up the mobile unit with proper storage and basic technology, and finally, creating communication and risk management plans. Our main deliverables are an operational mobile unit, a signed network of partners, defined standard operating procedures, and a monitoring framework for volumes, cost, and impacts. Next slide, please. Now let's talk about the work breakdown structure, which is the most important part of our first project. So, to manage complexity, we organize the project using a work breakdown structure. We divide the project into five major components: project planning, management, a stakeholder partnership, mobile unit setup, food collection and distribution, and monitoring and closure. Each component is further broken into specific tasks and work packages, which makes it easier to assign responsibilities, estimate resources, and manage dependencies. Next slide. Uh, let's move towards the key work packages. So some of our key work packages include partnerships, agreements, vehicle configuration, route planning, training, volunteers, and setting up monitoring tools. For examples, the partnership agreement work package covers identifying potential donors and receivers, outreach negotiations, and signing MOUs. The vehicle configuration package includes installing refrigeration or cooling, shelving, and ensuring all safety checks are completing before operations begin. Uh, Now let's move to the next slide, which is about the communication plan. Because this project involves multiple organizations, a clear communication plan is essential. We define who communicates with whom, through which channels, and how frequently. Internally, the project team will use daily coordination meetings or messages to handle operational issues. Externally, the restaurants and donors receive weekly updates, food banks get regular coordination reports, and sponsor or governance stakeholders are updated monthly with performance and risk summaries. Now, my friend Kiran will proceed with the risk management overview.
Thank you, Ramika. I will explain the risk management overview. In addition to communication, we have a structured risk management approach. We categorize risk into stakeholder, operational, financial, regulatory, and external risks. These allow us to systematically identify where the project is the most vulnerable, for example, from partner withdrawal, vehicle breakdowns, funding shortfall, or change in regulation. Next slide, please. This slide shows the key risk for the some key risks include the donors not honoring the communicant, variability in the surplus food supply, equipment or vehicle failure, and non-compliance with food safety requirement. There are also some financial risks such as higher than expected fuel or maintenance costs and external risks like extreme weather that could route and delivers. Next slide. This slide shows the risk response strategy. To respond to this stage risk, we use the mitigation, monitoring, and documentation in the risk register. Mitigation actions include the preventive maintenance for vehicles, building liquidity in the partner network, and aligning our processes with food safety regulation. We also define the key risk indicators such as the repeated cancellation or increased spoilage led to delete entry, warning sign, and trigger corrective action. Next slide. This slide shows the execution phase. For example, a project execution plan. In this execution phase, our project plan becomes operational reality. Execution plan specify when each work package is implemented, who is the responsible, and how quality will be maintained. We sequence activities like finalizing partnerships, configuring mobile unit, piloting routes, and then scaling based on performance and feedback. Now, next slide will be presented by my friend.
Thank you, Kiran. Now I will be describing about team roles and responsibility. Uh, we we define clear roles and responsibilities to ensure accountability, such as let's first talk about project from the project manager, which oversees the scope, schedule, and then stakeholder alignment, and then the logistic coordinator, which manages the routes, and the daily operation of the mobile unit. Talking about the financial officers, which is very important because like this tracks the budget and the financial reporting. The third one is the fourth one is the volunteer coordinator, which handles recruitment, training, and scheduling of volunteers. Finally, the communication lead manages the both internal and external and coordinates the stakeholder updates as well. Next slide, please. The next one is the resource allocation. So resource allocation focuses on four key areas. First, the mobile unit itself as the core physical assets. Second one is the equipment, such as the storage container, refrigerator, and safety gears. Third one is the human resources, which includes staff and volunteers because they are the core part of the project, right? So, and the fourth one is the technology and including tracking food tools for donation, inventory, and route of organization. Balancing these resources effectively is critical for both impact and then the cost control. Next slide, please. So the next slide is collaboration and communication. So during the whole process, communication is very, very important. So the execution, collaboration, and communication keep the system very responsive. Cross-functional coordination help us quickly adjust the tool, routes, and then address operational issues and respond to changes in the supply and chains, demand, right? And then regular check-ins with donors and receive create feedback loops. For example, allowing food bank to indicate which terms are most useful in which areas, and then delivering the timings needs adjustment, right? So the next slide, please. The monitoring and control. Monitoring of project progress. So the monitoring and control ensures the project is still aligned with its objective. We track every indicators like total food collection and redistribute the numbers of active donors and partners as well within the organization, and with approximate metrics. Regular status review compare actual performance against the baseline schedule and budget, so we can interview early when deviation occurs. The next slide will be presented by you, Beck. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I will continue with the slide monitoring tools. To support monitoring, we use straightforward tools. This includes simple dashboards, periodic reports, and the data captured by the tracking system on donations and delivering. Even basic tools can give strong visibility. If we consistently record volume, routes, time windows, and any incident that occurs during operation. Next slide. It's risk monitoring and control. Risk monitoring continues throughout the life of the project. We review and update the risk register regularly. Nothing changes in likelihood and impact. When key risk indicators such as frequent route delays and high spoilage rate cross certain threshold, we investigate root cause and adjust mitigation plans, routes, and a partner arrangements accordingly. Next slide. Issue and change management. We use simple but disciplined issue and change management processes. Operational issues are logged, analyzed, and revolved in a clear ownership. For larger changes such as expanding the services area and modifying servicing level, we access to impact on scope, cost, and schedule, then seek formal approval before implementation. This avoids scope creep and keep the project under control. Next slide, please. Its closing phase, project acceptance criteria. As we reach the planned end of the pilot period, we move into the closer phase. Our acceptance criteria include meeting minimum targets from food recovered and redistributed, staying staying within the agreed budget and the tolerances, maintaining compliance with food safety standards, and receiving positive feedback from key stakeholders. If these criteria is satisfied, the project can be formally accepted, not sign off obtained. Next slide, please. It's the closing phase, project closure process, and lessons learned. The closure processes includes final evaluation, stakeholder sign off, and submission of all required documentations and reports. We then captured lessons learned, which is fully like emphasize the importance of early stakeholders engagement. We also we also documentation the opportunities to improve route or optimization, technology integration, and stability, so that future product can build on our experience. Next slide. It's to the last slide, like its conclusion. To conclude, the mobile food waste reduction is a structured project managed response to the dual challenges of food waste and food insecurity, designed to be both impactful and scalable to other communities. Thank you. And here are some references. And thank you, team. Thank you for your attention. We look forward to your questions and feedback. Thank you.
Thank you so much.